The fifth and final round of the Blancpain GT Sprint Cup is held at the Nurburgring, and we're hoping for beautiful blue skies at this most stunning of circuits in the Eiffel Forest. The last weekend of August had round 4, and it was super tight down to the first corner at the Nurburgring. A packed field of cars somehow getting around. It was Audi in pole with Marcel Fasser at the wheel leading the way. There was contact further back. That's Jules Koviak taking the number 88. Mercedes off into a spin, and they'd try as hard as they could, the number 63 Lamborghini crew, even at this restart, could not get past Fasser holding sway at the front of the field. The turn 5 curbing, enticing for some, most staying on board. Will the teams stick to their plans when it comes around to the little pit stops? Vincent Voss certainly hopes so. Very, very tight in the pits, and 2 of the Audis came in at the same time. Less haste, more speed. 63 Lamborghini coming in as well. That was challenging for the lead, but it was Fessler's car that was being waited for. That was the one in from the lead. But it was the blue-nosed sister car that really did well in the pits. Staying shot horse, taking over from Jake Dennis, and really gaining positions out onto the circuit. There were problems for the chasing HTP Motorsport Boot Pereira championship challenge car in the pits, and then problems for Shot Horse, giving a little rub up the back from 63, but it was now Audi 1, 2 and 3, and one of last year's challengers, that's the Mies Idekart, going for a spin down at turn 1, and then for Stephen Earl, caught up as the front runners came through and pitched off to a spin, but it was all eyes on the screens. The race came towards the end, and still it was Vantor leading the way. Dries Vantor following in the footsteps of his brother to become a winner. A 1-2 for Audi, and look, young Dries' delight there, a teenager up on the top step of the podium. The battle for championship honours is super tight. Those 2 wins at the Hungaroring for Marcel Fessler and Dries Vantor really pitched them into the thick of the battle. Now 3rd place overall, just 4 points away from the overall lead. So it's all to play for at the Hungaroring, and you can be sure that veteran Fessler wants it.
You know, a title is always something great. It means also that you have been the best over the whole season. And I think this, especially this championship, because there are so many contenders who could win the title, I think it would be something special to win this one. And yeah, but it's tough.
Lying 6th coming to the Nurburgring, Vincent Abril has no wins yet to his name in the Bentley that he shares with Stephen Kane, but really has a chance at the Sprint Cup. His aim is the overall title.
Obviously the Sprint Championship is one that I really enjoy. It's got everything. You have to be fast over 1 lap, you have to be good in the race, you have to be fast in the pits, so everything is a factor in this championship. So yeah, it would mean a lot to win it again. Obviously now I'm in a much more difficult situation than when I won it in 15, because the gap to the front is a bit bigger, but like you said, there's also the overall championship which is in sight, and that's, I think, our main focus this weekend is to collect some big points.
Audi is really well represented in the Sprint Cup title chase, and one of its challengers in 4th place overall is Stuart Leonard. He has that 1 win to his name at Zolder. He's pitching for glory here, sharing with Robin Frientz yet again, and surely it could be their chance to really take a tilt at the title. The Audis look great at the ring.
I'm going to do my best. I think we're going to do our best, and no, I'm really looking forward to it. It's a very competitive series, and it would be amazing to win. We're doing everything we can to be at the right spot at the right time. Last year the Audi was new to me. I'd never driven a mid-engine car before, so it took me a little while to get on top of, but this year I'm much more comfortable, and with Robin I think we've made a good team.
One of the new faces in 2017 has been Piti Bhirombhakdi from Thailand, the best looking cars in the field, the Kessel Racing TP12 Ferrari that he shares with Carlo Van Dam. We didn't know what to expect from Piti, but from race to race he's been getting stronger and stronger.
This is the first year I came here, and at the beginning we didn't expect much. After a few races we're doing fine, and we finished in the second mostly. This is the big moment for me. Just concentrate on every lap and every section, try to do our best, and hopefully we get a chance to win the championship.
One driver with really high hopes for the Nurburgring is Mirko Bortolotti. Again, he's sharing that 63 Lamborghini with Christian Engelhardt. They took a double victory at Brands Hatch. He comes here just 3 points down on the overall leaders, Buch and Pereira, and has really, really high hopes of taking a good shot at the title.
Well, obviously I'm looking forward to this weekend. It's gonna be a really tight one as usual in the Blancpain GT Series. Getting to this point with so many different contenders for the title, it's something really challenging and special. So we are really we are ready for it, ready to fight again. And obviously the goal is to get the championship if possible. But we will have a look at we'll have an eye on the overall title as well. So obviously we will see what we can do here at the Nurburgring.
Coming to the Nurburgring, the final round of the Sprint Cup. Franck Pereira and Maxi Buch lead the way in the 84 HTP Motorsport Mercedes. They started their season with a double win at Misano. It's been really tight ever since, shown by the fact 7 teams can take the title here at the Nurburgring. Effectively 5 of them super close on points. Let's hope weather doesn't trip any of them up.
I think it will be a quite exciting weekend. It's a good position to be leading. We got some bad luck last races, but I think we're going to push all the weekend, try to get the best result for the win, like we start the season with Misano. I think it could be good to close the championship with a win. At the moment the car is good. We are very motivated, it's positive, and we will try the best.
To win a championship title anywhere is special, but to win one on home ground doubles that divide, and that's exactly what Alexander Matschel will be hoping for this weekend, sharing as ever his 333 Rinaldi Racing Ferrari with Daniel Kalbitz. He has a 13-point lead in the Pro-Am Championship category, and he's really hoping he can deliver the goods across the 2 races at the Nürburgring.
Now we are looking for the sprint title. Our concern is a little bit the weather. It's really cold and humid, so I think we will get some rain in between. I think this is very difficult for everybody. We try to win the Pro-Am, but it's still a strong championship. It will be a difficult race because there are some other good guys, but we try to get it.
One driver who is really living the dream this year is South African David Carell. He just can't believe that he's leading AM class, doing it beautifully in the Kessel Racing Ferrari he shares with Stephen Earle. He watched these races a handful of years ago, back at home, decided he wanted to have a go. He's come up to Europe and he's made a fantastic splash. It's been a brilliant year, and I think he's going to cap it out here at the Nürburgring.
I've been watching this series for a long time on my couch, and I didn't actually think I'd be a champion in it. Honestly, I didn't. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to stand in the pit lane and see what it's like to do a pit stop driver change and all those cool things, but to win it and be in press conferences with my heroes is special.
Well, how close would you like the championship to be? This is the final round of the 2017 Blancpain GT Series Sprint Cup. John Watson, me, Bruce Jones in the commentary booth. We've got 7 crews, John, that can nail the title here at this final round. Effectively 5 in with a really good chance and 2 others tilting from the outside, hoping everything goes wrong. But for some of the top teams, it already did in qualifying this morning. Now the track temperatures are warmer, nearly 20 degrees. The sky's actually just brightened up a bit. The clouds came in. It was a beautiful blue sky morning, but the main thing is the track temperatures are up and everything has dried out. It was damp almost all the way around the circuit this morning, or worse actually, part damp, part dry, depending where the sun had hit.
Well, the sun's not quite there, but there are the championship points.
Well, that top screen, you can see in 6th place overall, Vincent Abril and Stephen Kane, they really are an outside chance, but with the extra point for pole position, Dries Van Toor and Marcel Fassler, they'll take the point, but most importantly for them, they're now equal second in the championship, but they're on pole position. The best of their rivals is starting down in 7th place overall. And for Maxi Buch and the championship leaders, Maxi Buch and Franck Pereira, they're down in 8th. So this is a real good chance. There are only points for the top 6 places. 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1 it goes. So Dries Van Toor will be starting from pole position in the number 5 Audi, and Rob Bell will be doing his best to put the McLaren season on track. Or Andrea Cordarelli in his Lamborghini, and Dominic Baumann from row 2. Row 3, Daniel Kalbitz leading the Pro-Am class, and Howe. And then Stein Schotthorst, new to the championship, will be starting from row 3. Great start for him. Robin Frientz and championship leader Maxi Buch, row 4. Raffaele Marciello, and again showing the McLaren form, Ben Barnicoat up to 10th. Frank Stippler, historic racer and current racer, will start 11th. Tristan Vautier coming on board the Sprint Series. Andy Soucek and Fred Vervish, who's Enzo Ida's teammate this weekend, on row 7. Row 8, Max van Splunteren and Fabio Crestani. Then Mirko Bortolotti, we mentioned him down on row 9, and Daniel Juncadella, not where either of those should be. So out of the chicane, the final time on the formation lap. Lights ablaze on the pole starting Audi of Dries van Tor. That's number 5. Alongside him, number 59 McLaren, Rob Bell, who's done so well in this championship in the past. But now he thinks he's got a car that maybe can challenge and put McLaren on the map this year. It's not been a great season. So the full 33, well, it's 32 cars. We've lost the 55 car, damaged in qualifying this morning, but it looks like a great start, waiting for the lights to go green. Absolutely thundering already out down to the first corner. Rob Bell losing position, but for Dries van Tor, he's got it under control. Daniel Kalvitz, he doesn't mind at all, up into second place. A little tap up his bottom, I think, there from Andrea Caldarelli. A lot of people going wide, but no contact, I think. But for Rob Bell, he lost several positions.
Yeah, Rob got tapped in coming into turn 1. There's always coming into turn 1. Everybody tends to dive down to the inside to try and take the outside. Oh, and round goes the 63 car Mirko Bortolotti. The very thing that I said he needs to avoid has occurred. He looks like he's going to be stone last. So whether that was an assist or whether that was just a driver error, we might get a view of it in a moment or two. But in the meantime, it is the number 5 Audi that's made the break.
But we've had a change. Caldarelli has moved up ahead of Kalvitz into second place overall. Just can't see anything right at the back of the pack. You may see the green flash from Bortolotti. Yeah, way behind the rest. Middle order, very, very tight indeed. 99 right in the mix as well.
And bodywork coming off. Is that one of the McLarens? It is.
And it hit. I think
looks like it might. Is that Rob Bell? Or Ben Barnicoat, one of the two McLarens. Oh, and further damage. Oh, dear, right into the side of the door. So somebody got tagged the Audi, which that may have been. I don't know, was that Robin Friends? I couldn't quite see. But the McLaren there, you can see, it is the 75. Is that Frank Stipler? It is Frank Stipler and the 58 McLaren. And both cars, that was Ben Barnicoat. So both cars down at turn 8. Most distant point on the circuit, but the McLaren dragging its left rear guard. It is going to be, I would assume, a full course yellow, certainly a yellow flag in sector 2, and those two cars will need assistance to pull them to safety. Let's watch again now.
Well, it's a fantastic start from Dries van Tor. Rob Bell stuck down the middle of the circuit. Daniel Kalvitz getting very close to Andrea Caldarelli on the pit wall side. At this point, Rob Bell's fine. Now, who hits him up the tail end? It looks as nobody here.
There's nobody at this point. So, there it is, the stage 17.
Well, that was Robin Friends. Very unfortunate because he was given a blast by one of the HTP Motorsport Mercedes. So that was very difficult indeed. That was Dominic Baumann.
The lightest of contact, but enough just to peel away. And there again, we see the 63 getting spun around.
Rob Bell has come in, so not necessarily their fault. The lights out, the safety car is off, and now Van Tor is controlling the restart. Who's going to be serious down into turn 1? Caldarelli looks so he's close enough almost to make a move. No, Van Tor's got clear air between himself and Caldarelli. Tucked in behind is Daniel Kalvitz in third place. Raffaele Marcello, is he close enough to the Ferrari to make a move? No, he isn't. Dominic Baumann starting to take a look, but he doesn't want to pass the car in front. It's his teammate, that's Maxi Buch. In some ways he's protecting him, and Baumann is being pushed by Schotthorst. Schotthorst goes around the outside. Baumann very nearly taps the tail of his teammate, and placed gained there by staying Schotthorst. So McLaren at least something to smile about as the 43 gains a place.
Yeah, good pass, but now the Mercedes coming back because there was a slight compromise in the overtaking. Baumann gets the undercut, and now you can see the 17 Audi of Robin Friends. He's trying to get a bit of the action, but goes the long way around the outside. Not an easy pass, and it's the 88 of Daniel Juncadella. That second of the ACA ASP Mercedes trying, but having to defend. Because Marcello getting it all over the curbs, pumping and bumping, and look at the cloud of dust. He kicked up. He went actually through wheels off the track, coming up through turn 12.
Good news for Maxi Buch. You'd need any present you could get, I'm afraid, by pressing so hard there in his desperation to catch up with Daniel Kalvitz. It went wrong for Marcello, so the places he's gained, he's lost one of them. But for Maxi Buch, he now must be saying, Dankeschön.
As we again see a little bit of action, the 66 defending from the 43 McLaren, and the McLaren, yes, he's got it done. Good pass, aggressive but clean racing. Pit window is now open. Who's going to be the first in? Is it going to be Maximilian Buch? No, it is not.
I think it might be the ones running 7th, 8th, 9th down. Will Robin Friends come in? No, he's staying out the yellow-nosed Audi. Stuart Leonard waiting.
Bentley in, Andy Soucek. And the
Winkelhock
as well.
From 9th place. So they're the first of the top 10 to pit. Oh, Winkelhock very nearly hit the wall on the coming out that final corner.
Andy Soucek followed suit, and followed by one of the two BMWs. So these teams who've got multiple entries can mix and match. They can decide to stop early with some cars, go deeper or later with other cars. But we'll get an indication from WRT as Marcus Winkelhock makes his way down the pit lane, the Bentley behind the BMW peeling off slightly earlier in the pit lane. see who will win this battle in the pit lane. It gets pretty hectic, believe me, in this 10-minute window. And when you get teams that are running multiple cars and they're all coming in, maybe in some cases 2 cars at the same time, it is a war zone down there.
It absolutely is. 32 cars started this race, so it's very, very busy down in the pit lane from effectively penultimate position. In comes Fabrizio.
Oh, great stop. What a stop. The Lamborghini. Oh.
Well, in fact, I saw the lollipop go back down in front of the windscreen. It hit the windscreen as Stevens pulled away as the 63 Lamborghini was coming in. Let's just put that in mind.
But a great stop, likewise, for the M Sport team with the Bentley. So now we've got Maxime Soulet behind the wheel of that. So really no loss or gain between the BMW, between the Audi and the Bentley. And there is the 27 Lamborghini with all the smuts up the side of the guard, probably a few scars as well.
So Boot came in, he's not lost his battle, he's small enough.
Followed in by, I think it was either the 90 Mercedes or the 43 McLaren, just called, I think it was the McLaren.
I think it was McLaren. So Maxi Book got up to 4th place, started down in 8th, and this is the key for his championship.
They need a clean entry. They've got the clean entry. They've got to stop on the button. Stopped on the button. Driver change not going to be an issue because that'll be over and done before the 4 wheels and tyres are changed. This is the pit stop of the season in many respects for the HTP team, because this can potentially elevate them from 4th place up to 2nd place once the pit stops have washed them way out.
And another thing I have to throw in the mix, we saw Alexander Matschel smiling in the garage earlier at Rinaldi Racing. Of course, he is not Daniel Kalvik, so he's not going to be as much of a challenge in terms of getting past. But if the car could just, the HTP Motorsport Mercedes could pop out ahead of it, then that's half that battle won. So Dries Van Tor coming in, and Marcel Fassler waiting to take over, waiting for Marcel, hopping up and down on his feet, waiting for Dries to bring it to a halt, and so he does.
So he's standing there, belts undone. This is going to be a close call because it's, there's the Audi rolling. So it's pretty near the pit lane exit. He's on the throttle now. Where's the Mercedes?
Crossing the start-finish line in the back. Oh, hello, we got our championship mates. Going to be running 1 and 2.
Solidly in 2nd place, which is what the objective was. So now he's got focus on the lead car driven by Marcel Fassler. Pit window just coming up to 27 minutes of the race remaining. 2 minutes open, so I think this has got to be the time, the 19, the lead car as we speak, and it is coming in. So Caldarelli is making his way in, and he will make it all the way down to the very, very end of the pit lane.
If it's a clean
handover
to Ezekiel Perez compact, which will put him in a position in a race that he's just not accustomed to. But Ezekiel has
a lot of pressure on Ezekiel Perez compact.
But he's been gaining good form, and the Ferrari's coming as well. You said
everybody
those on the
has to come
circuit
in.
absolutely had to. So Alexander Matschel will be getting ready to greet the 333 Ferrari. Great job there from Daniel Kalvitz in from 3rd place. Good job from Andrea Caldarelli to take a 2nd place at the start of the race and make it stick. So their chance for glory, the mechanics, or more to the point, their chance to muck things up in many ways.
Ferrari pulled in first, so Kalvitz will be out of the car. Lamborghini, the very end, pit garages.
There's Fred Vervish coming in, so Enzo Ida will take over the number 1 Audi. That's the one with the black nose. So again, busy on the circuit, busier in the pit lane. And here comes Marcel Fassler around to complete what will be the car's 17th lap. But importantly, what's his gap? Let's look at the gap back to Maxi Book.
So there are, the Lamborghini pulls out
2.7 seconds.
Yes, so nothing lost between the Ferrari and the Lamborghini. What's more important is at what position will they rejoin? And they've certainly gone from 2nd and 3rd to 3rd and 4th.
Oh, what a traffic jam down leaving the pit lane. 4 cars. It seems the yellow-nosed Audi has lost ground. That was Stuart Leonard taking over from Robin Freins. Obviously got caught up in all the traffic in the pit lane. So all that hard work from Freins is going to have to be done all over again by Stuart Leonard. But 19...
And it's under challenge to Marcel Fassler.
Well, he's leading the race. A better pit stop there for Ezekiel Perez compact. I thought he was going to come out in 2nd place. He's popped out ahead of our race leader.
That is a shock. That is a shock.
You sucked through your teeth when I said they might come in. You thought there'd be
no way I thought that Grasso Racing would be able to turn around and get their car out ahead of the lead car. But that's what's happened. Ezekiel compact Perez. Perez compact, not Pom. So leading the race, but under extreme pressure in the 2nd part of this race from the car that has led from the lights going out, but now driven by Marcel Fassler. And Fassler needs to get this pass done quickly. The longer he gets trapped behind the Lamborghini, the less opportunity he's going to find. There's Dries Van Tor, and he's, look at him, his eyes are just lasering into the TV screen, almost willing by power of thought alone to get his teammate to get ahead of the green Lamborghini.
and you can see Fessler being delayed. You can see from Pereira doing what will put a smile on Maxi Book's face. We're not got a two-way battle for the lead, it's a three-way battle.
So Perez closing almost by the corner. The gap is reducing, and that's going to put pressure on Marcel Faster, because he's going to have to now be thinking defensively to stop the Mercedes, but at the same time he's got to think positively and where can I get a manoeuvre, where can I make a pass on this Lamborghini. Drive through penalties for cars 75, 333,
fourth place,
87 and 89, speeding in the pit lane.
Up the inside goes Fessler. Oh, up the inside he doesn't go.
But he's got a chance now. He's got the chance because he forced Perez Compact to go slightly offline, but he's now going to look for the cutback. Can he hold a very, very tight line coming through turn 2? No, he's not able to. Quicker out of turn 4. Watch Marcel Fassler. He's going to go one way. He's going to cut back and try and get down the inside. Frank Pereira had the same idea, but also no space for neither the Audi or the Mercedes. But this is real pressure now for the Argentinian driver. Look, Maxi Book, he's enjoying it.
Look how close the Bentley is, though, John.
Closing up by the corner.
But we have to just reflect on how that Lamborghini was propelled from second on the track before the pit stops to the lead of the race. We expected the pit stop from WRT to be good enough for when Marcel Fessler took over from race leader Dries van Tor for that to emerge ahead. Don't forget it had an advantage of about 5 seconds before those stops. But right now, it was a story of a fabulous, fabulous pit stop from the Grasser Racing Lamborghini. Now a challenge from the Bentley, almost in the pit lane. He's up the inside of Pereira, surely to take third place. So hold on, if they put a camera on Dries van Tor's face, there may be a flicker of a smile. He's just possibly gained a points advantage with Pereira being pushed back. The Bentley had the speed to catch the grouping.
There we see the pass.
Look how close they are to the pit wall. Oh,
yes,
wheels over the white line.
Soule got a really good run off the final turn and just used that and courageously went right to the wall in every sense. Watch again, here we have another opportunity. Can Fassler look at Soule also thinking they've got a bit of this action as well. Up the inside for Perez Compact, absolutely been murdered by the Bentley. Gets up alongside the Audi. Can he take second place? Yes, he has. And watch the Mercedes too, trying to get a bit of the action. Can this be a Mercedes overtaking the Audi? Which it did. Oh, it's gone.
Well, the Audi had to back off very slightly. Did hit the end tail of the Mercedes coming past our window. The Mercedes now in front. The Mercedes into third. All change except for the fact that Ezekiel Perez Compact is still leading the race. But with the speed that Maxime Soule has shown in this Bentley, as I keep pointing at the screen, it's so exciting.
Andy Suchek his eyes out and stop it. Maxim wondering, well, what is going on? The quickest car on the circuit of this group of 4 cars has been Maxime Soule in the M Sport Bentley. He's now going to put a bit of heat onto the back of the Lamborghini. Watch as he comes up into the chicane. He's closing, goes for the inside. Can he get it alongside? Wow, he couldn't get any closer to that as the Lamborghini sort of hops, skips and jumps. Now there's been contact into the chicane. The Mercedes gets second place. Defense from Soule to keep Marcel Fassler from getting up the inside. That would happen because the Lamborghini and the Bentley just didn't give each other sufficient working room. The Bentley loses out, the Mercedes has gained position.
And all along this is manna from heaven for the Lamborghini driver, but now he's got Pereira challenging. They can't go wide, still that bodywork, debris on the track. Again, Fassler's now up the outside of the Bentley. Soon we'll see the Bentley on the inside, or will we? Has he made the move?
On the outside, he has.
All change. What an amazing race. And through it all, we said, will he last for 25 minutes at the front of this race? He's lasted almost 20 of them. Ezekiel Perez Compact leading the way. Look, the smiles back on Maxi Book's face because they are up, the championship leaders, back up into second place, importantly ahead of the number 5 Audi, the car that's closest to them in the points battle. The Mercedes number 8, the Bentley number 8, not in the championship fight at all, not in any of the 7 crews, I'll repeat that, 7 crews that came here with a chance at the title. They fancied glory in this race, and by golly, they so nearly got it, but back down to 4th place. So there's Andrea Caldarelli. He's hiding under his hood, but he's now starting to believe this is a major turn up for the books. The Bentley is coming again. Onto the final lap they go. Mercedes not close enough to challenge, and again we see Maxime Soule so close to the pit wall. Marcel Fassler has to hold on to 3rd position or it'll stretch that advantage for the HTP Mercedes crew. Very wide on the exit of turn 1, just back to hold track position into turn 2. Maxime Soule is forced to go the whole way, the long way around the outside of this, the final lap. We have 29 laps on the board, lap 30, the final one in this 1 hour race. The qualifying race up the inside into turn 3. It's not quite enough to go through, but a quicker exit out of turn 4 over the curbs. on the inside and the Audi over the curbs on the outside. Meanwhile, the Lamborghini continues on its way. Which one of those cars is in the right position for turn 5? It is the Audi, but round the outside at turn 5. Does that mean on the inside to turn 6? No, it doesn't, because he's half off the circuit, pushing as hard as you possibly can, desperate for a podium, but let's hope this doesn't come to blows. As close as you possibly can get without touching. Looks like Marcel Festa may have done enough. He's taking the defensive line down into the hairpin, putting the Bentley onto the outside line, but wide in can be tight on the way out. Who's going to get the power down better as they come up the hill? But the first two have well and truly escaped during this scrap. Coming out of the final corner for the last time, as though Ezequiel Perez compact with championship leader Franck Pereira on his tail, will finish in the lead, taking victory in what has been an absolutely fantastic race. And car number 19 and 8, that is our race winner, and the car in fourth place, Maxime Soulet's Bentley, under investigation for cutting the chicane. We saw that moment, and in fact it really rather cost both of them, allowed the others to close up. So for Grasser Racing Team, they do have a victory. They would have loved for it to be Mirko Bortolotti and Christian Engelhardt, but it's for Andrea Cornarelli in the garage and out there bringing it home after the checkered flag. No doubt the biggest smile on his face. 19 under investigation for not respecting track limits, along with the number 8 Bentley, the car that won the race and the car that finished in fourth. A 1 second time penalty for cutting the chicane. So victory does go, in fact, not to the Lamborghini, but 84 crew now take victory. A 1 second penalty. Oh, no wonder the drivers feel deflated. The crew feel deflated. So let's go down to John Watson with the winners.
Max, P1, can you explain it, please?
Unbelievable for right now, because I was really happy with P2, and then after the checkered flag it popped up on the screen that we are P1 because they get a second penalty, but amazing.
Did you ever dream you could be in P1 in this qualifying race?
No, not at all, because from P8 I wanted to have a good start and then wanted to have a clean race, score points. Yeah, now it's P1.
Well, Max, you had a pretty easy job. Frank, that was unbelievable to watch. What was it like to be in?
It was fun. It was not nervous, but you know, you have to be careful with the championship, so you never know something what can happen, especially with the Bentley was catching a lot. I knew that he had a big engine, so I think like maybe it's a good idea to let him pass and maybe to let him fight and then I follow.
Frank, you tried to squeeze him into the wall.
I tried a little bit, but it was not enough. No, anyway, it was more tentative race, you know, waiting for a good action to pass. Yeah, he cut the chicane, the Lambo, so tried to defend. It was quite dangerous race, but I just try to be intelligent and to score good points for tomorrow, and it's good for the championship.
Anyway, you made a fantastic race. Well done, guys.
So John Watson with Andrea Cordarelli and Perez Companc.
We're all a bit confused. Can you explain why you're not in the number 1 position, you're number 2?
To be honest, I don't really understand why. They're saying that I cut the chicane, and so they gave me 1 second penalty, so I understand. How can you do the chicane, 2 cars side by side? There's no chance. In fact, I risked my race going in the gravel. You see me sideways in the gravel, and gaining time is unbelievable. You go in the gravel sideways, then you have a...
Okay, slow down. If you hadn't done what you did, what would have happened?
I would have won, for sure.
No, but I mean, would there have been contact? Because obviously you took to the gravel to avoid contact. So if you hadn't gone to the gravel, what would have happened?
For sure, we spin. One of us, he takes me out, and he also ruins his race.
I mean, you did a great job. You're under pressure all the way, and you defended cleanly. And then all of a sudden it got really tight. What, 2 laps out?
Yeah, it was crazy, to be honest. I was with my eyes looking in the mirror every time. I think my whole stint I never looked in front, so it was crazy. I was driving with my eyes in the back. Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed, Watty. High fever down in the pit lane. So look how close it was, 0.6 of a second. But that was after the Lamborghini was pushed back with a 1 second penalty. So victory to Franck Pereira and Maxi Buch. They came here as championship leader. And now, with the number 5 Audi finishing in third, they've extended their lead to 7 points. Maxime Soulet, Andy Soucek, so nearly on the podium. In fact, made that challenge for victory up into chicane. And just to look, it is a 7-point advantage. And you know what? First place tomorrow is 7 points more than second. How close do we want this to be? So Dries Van Tor and Marcel Festa still in with a shot at the championship. In fact, the top 5 crews can all still take this. And having seen what happened this afternoon, and you know what? You can see in the background, suddenly we've got dark clouds over the Nurburgring. We got away with a race in perfect conditions. It's looking really, really exciting for the final round of the 27 Blancpain GT Series Sprint Cup here at the Nurburgring. That is tomorrow. The teams have plenty to think of but for the Grasser Racing Lamborghini, it's a case of what might have been. And a brilliant pit stop put their car in the front, but that penalty right at the end gave victory here on the Saturday at the Nurburgring to the HDP Motorsport Mercedes, Franck Pereira and Maxi Buch. They lead into the final. So the final round of the 2017 Blancpain GT Series Sprint Cup. We had the qualifying race yesterday here at the Nurburgring. We had a little bit of rain earlier today. That could yet be a factor. So let's take a look at the grid. It's Franck Pereira on the front row. Outside the front row, the Lamborghini of Ezequiel Perez Compact. Then we have more variety. We have the Audi and the Bentley on the second row. Marcel Fessler ahead of Maxime Soulet. Row 3, 2 Audis. Will Stevens with the green nose and the yellow nose for Stuart Leonard. Then Jens Klingman in the 7th position on the grid, new to the championship yesterday, set the fastest race lap, 7th on the grid alongside Johnny Kane. Splashes of speed from McLaren here. We think they're finding form right at the end of the season. So now let's focus, and we have got 3 other teams in with a chance of the title. John Watson's made it up just in the nick of the time into the commentary box as we swing round the corner. The red lights on the start gantry, looking who's going to get a better start. Pereira very close to the pit wall. If anything, Perez Compact out wide, and that's given the Bentley a chance to blast straight past it. Maxime Soulet, so promising yesterday. What a start for him, and being very careful. Dries Van Tor hanging in there in 3rd. 4th becomes 3rd. Bentley in the right position on the exit, but somehow Perez Compact, by going super deep and wide, Watty into the first corner, has managed to nail that 2nd position when all looked lost for him.
Yes, when you come down the inside into turn 1, you have to really slow down because you're so tight on the apex. But look how much of the grass on the inside of the corner Maxime Soulet was taking at turn 3. Then this group of cars side by side out through turn 4. We saw contact there. Again, further through the field, the defence that's going on as we drive down into the bottom of the circuit at turn 8.
Well, fantastic footage through the windscreen of Vincent April's number 7 Bentley, getting very, very close to Jake Dennis there in the number 3 Audi.
The field now streaming its way out of turn 12. Yellow flag in sector 1. So there is somebody off on that first sector. Whether that is the McLaren, whether that's somebody else we didn't pick up, we will soon find out. Bentley gets up alongside, dives down the inside. Nothing the Lamborghini can do. Good pass, clean pass.
Almost history repeating itself, and out onto the grass, keeping his foot in. He's going to drop to 5th or 6th place. So for Perez Compact, very, very badly wrong. Dries Van Tor up into 3rd place, and in behind a really, really good run from the system. But the BMW was on a massive charge. I think that was the one that clattered the back of Johnny Kane, but 98 rather than 99. So it's Marcus Palsela who's made a really, really positive opening lap. That 98 car is really in the balls now, taking it to 17. Stuart Leonard being shoved out of the way. Marcus Palsela is absolutely fine. But the thing is, Maxime Soulet is losing ground to Franck Pereira. Just have a quick refresher of the point standings. If they finish as they are now, that'd be Maxi Buch and Pereira winning by a country mile. In reality, at the moment, though, they know they're nearly an hour away from that. 56 minutes of racing have to elapse, but someone has to get ahead of Buch and Pereira to keep this championship interesting, and I feel there's every possibility that. Well, let's have a look at a bit of a slow-mo replay where one of the Lamborghinis going wide.
Place, so something happened on the opening. There's what happened. Oh, Felix Serralles and the 488 Ferrari rotating, so that's why the 88 Mercedes dropped so far down the field as we see the 488. Well, that's
Salikov
car. Yep. But look at the Bentley, the pace of the Bentley. We saw this in the closing stages yesterday. We're seeing it now in the opening stages, in the what you might call the championship round. This is the final round of 5 for the Blancpain Sprint Cup. And up the inside, the BMW looking very, very racy, trying to find a way to get around the 17 Audi. And that is no easy task. Stuart Leonard still being, well, using the racetrack to his advantage.
Drive-through penalty for number 8. We saw it was under investigation, so he's got to under a second, but for assisting the number 19 off the track. Look of thunder from Andy Soucek, nothing he can do. I'd like to see a replay of that moment.
Yes, that's an interesting call, because we saw the 19, the Lamborghini, running wide on the exit, but whether that was, well, obviously the stewards.
Okay, let's ride on board. This is with Marcel Fessler in behind the Bentley and the Lamborghini. This is right at the end of the opening lap. Bentley dives up the inside.
And that point,
looks
side by side, that to me is perfectly acceptable.
God, good camera work here.
But he's holding his line, he's taking his line in the exit of the corner. Well, I mean,
I didn't see a swerve.
Clear my throat on that one, I think.
Okay, so here we have our race leader, Franck Pereira, leading by, it was 5.3, it's now 5.9 seconds. He can afford even to shed a few seconds. Now it's 6.5.
Stopped on the pit. Well, that's why there's we've got a sector 3.
No, 75 out is the ISR car.
full course yellow.
Full course yellow,
Blancpain,
yeah, there we have it for sure. It's gone from full course yellow to safety car now. Maxi Book waiting, safety car in at the end of this lap. The race order as we restart, it's from Pereira for the number 5 Audi of Marcel Fessler. Will Stevens, the green Audi, in 3rd place, and Ezekiel Perez Compang defending today as he defended yesterday, under great pressure there from Marcus Palsler in the number 98. Tail happy BMW there out of turn 1.
Pit lane window is open. Audi directly behind, so the Mercedes. Audi drops in, so Marcel Fessler has decided, as does the BMW that was running in 5th place. Paltala
and Leonard has come in
as well as one of the McLarens.
And here is Marcel Fessler coming to a halt.
Well, this is going to be the pit stop of their lives. They said yesterday that one of the straps, when Marcel Fessler got in, got hung up. That's why their pit stop is a little slower than they would normally expect. So this has got to be absolutely seatbelt, driver change, wheel, tire change, perfect for this car. Have any chance they're moving? Oh, and one of the mechanics is taking the tumble. I think he was caught by the leading edge of the rear wing end plate. He's okay, but the car is rolling. Guys happy with what they did. That looked a pretty good stop from the WRT.
I think we can call it very, very fiercely competitive. Didn't really see why the mechanic went for a tunnel. Yeah, one absolutely does. But don't forget, Franck Pereira still out on the circuit. Will Stevens in the number 2 Audi still out on the circuit among the front runners.
Big question that HTP will now have to ask is, did they get it wrong? Should they have come in at the earliest opportunity and gone head to head with the number 5? He's coming in, he's in the pit lane.
Okay, this is critical time, and just to reiterate, whilst it's coming to a halt, the number 5 Audi ahead of the number 2. Will Stevens, though, is in the championship battle with Winkelhock.
There's the number 5 coming up into turn 11. And Mercedes comes to a standstill. Franck Pereira gets out. Maximilian Buch is in. HTP go to work. Rear tires off. Fresh ones on. Run round the car. Get that front undone. Get the new one on. Door closed.
But looking at the pace that Vanthoor has been setting around this lap, he's doing his absolute utmost to see if he can come in. So he's coming up to the chicane as the door is closing. The Mercedes is still on its jacks. Now it's down on terra firma.
But he's got
and it's away.
Full length of the pit lane. Where is the Mercedes? There's not even a bit of just appearing inside now.
No, the 5 Audi has got it. It's definitely at full racing speed, and the Mercedes not yet past the white line. A brilliant job from the team WRT crew. What an outlap, though, from Dries
Question
Vanthoor.
is, did HTP get it wrong? Should they have come in early?
Here's an answer of what happened. The number 5 pit stop. It was a super pit stop, and we're told it's an airline gets caught around the rear wing.
Yes, it did.
And it just caught the arm and tipped over the mechanic, so it wasn't hit by anything. And the team manager of race car number 5, the race leader, Dries Vanthoor, the equal championship leader, to go to race control immediately. Oh,
would that be a penalty or not? Because that is not permitted. Here's the Mercedes coming in a replay. So let's have a look and see where this pit stop.
Why was it so slow? This is the big question. It all looked very orderly.
So we're going to keep an eye on the left. Rear goes on okay. Left front comes off. Left front goes on.
It wasn't sitting straight.
The gun. It didn't get the gun on square. So that cost them certainly maybe a couple of seconds at most. And there doesn't above somebody way wide. Is that Maxi Book? It is Maxi Book way wide on the exit of turn 17, and that's blown the doors off HTP's any chance they had. And even the 63 Lamborghini, which wasn't even in the races, and there's that a problem? No, that's a puncture for them. I think there's a puncture on the left front or left rear. It's the left front. The Mercedes has got a puncture.
That was the one they had trouble fitting.
Well, that's the one they had trouble fitting. But was that the cause or was that the effect? Look at the reactions. Franck Pereira absolutely distraught images. With Maxi Book getting out of the car.
The two sides of a coin.
Vincent Voss runs out over the pit lane to the pit wall. Has he got clarification? Is he satisfied? Is he going to be on the radio to Dries Vanthoor and explain to him what might take place?
I can't read the lips of Vincent Voss, but he's certainly passing a message that suggests something is untoward for number 5. It wasn't. It's all right. You're in the clear. Keep going. You're sitting on an 11-second lead. All Vanthoor is doing now is pressing as fast as he possibly can. But
Robin
suddenly,
Friens down the inside. Clean pass. Good, courageous manoeuvre, but Winkelhock is going to look for the undercut to try and get back, but a late lunge from Robin Friens and sort of caught Marcus Winkelhock slightly unawares. So, number 8, drive-through penalty.
Drive-through penalty coming now. We haven't worked out exactly how long the pit lane is, but we know it's a 12.5-second lead there. 12.5-second lead. The drive-through penalty finally came. We knew from those faces something was coming.
Another twist in the tail. So number 17, Stuart Leonard, Robin Friens, had the opportunity to become the Blancpain Sprint Cup champions. There is the 5 coming in for its drive-through penalty for that infringement when the airline caught around the left-hand rear wing end plate and it tossed one of the engineers up in the air. So that's the penalty you have to pay for that little mistake, a tiny mistake, but a massive penalty.
There's 0-1 on the screen and potentially 0-1 on their championship position at the end of this race. But 63, of course, is the overall GT championship, and they are leading that. So despite a poor weekend in the Sprint Cup, the 63 crew could still come good. They've got to press on. So Robin Frieds, the order might be changing behind, and there is Christian Engelhardt admiring the work that is being put in by his teammate Mirko Bortolotti. It looks as though everything was turning wrong for them. The 85 Mercedes pushing very hard. Jules Simkoviak tried to go back past, but on the inside in 3 doesn't lead to the lead. Here is our Pro-Am leader. They've been in front all season. They've already got 6 wins to their name. Daniel Kalvitz and Alexander Matschel will be going on towards the Pro-Am title in their Rinaldi Racing Ferrari. It's been a fantastic season, and it's Kalvitz who will be bringing it home. So victory will come to the 2 Germans in the Pro-Am. Here is the Silver Cup leader. That's number 85, 6th place overall, Jules Simkoviak. It's through the chicane for the final time, up to the last corner, sitting on that comfortable cushion, 4.6 seconds. It matters not if he sheds a couple of those. Very careful over the curbing. That's where Maxi Boot went off. Lights are flashing, checkered flag are waving. Victory today, and also victory right across the course of the 5-round Sprint Cup Championship. So Stuart Leonard absolutely overjoyed in the pit lane. 2nd place went to Finkelhock. They could have been challengers too, with the problems up ahead. 2, 3, 4 abreast round the final corner of the Sprint Cup season. And among that pack, the 85 crew picked up the Silver Cup trophy, and for Stuart Leonard's side of the WRT garage, it's hugs all round. And finally, a chance to breathe out. A great to see Marcel Fessler, ever the gentleman, going across to say, well, we didn't get it, well done you guys. But let's go down, because John Watson is down with our race winners in the paddock. That means Stuart Leonard and Robin Frieds, this year's Sprint Cup champions.
Mate, you are a legend. You are a legend. Thank you so much. Oh man.
Did you actually think there's a real chance you could win this championship?
Well, at the beginning it was difficult. The chance was always there, but Boek was in front of us. He was leading the pack, and he was second, and Dries was way up ahead. So yeah, I thought the chances were gone. Dries got a drive-through penalty. Boek went off in front of me. I think he had a failure on his car or whatever. And then you suddenly fighting for the championship together with your teammates. So it's fun, but I think it's quite stressful for the team.
Best part for me was that pass down the inside of Marcus. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah, on the radio it was quite stressful. They said like a few times, keep it clean, which I did. I think it was a clean overtaking, and the overtaking for the championship.
Well done. Stuart, we were watching you after you got out of the car, and once the realisation set in you could win this championship, it was stress all over.
Yeah, exactly. I think those last 10 minutes I was just praying that everything just went smoothly, and because started and that was struggling a bit, and I was like, I wasn't sure it was going to happen, but then we did a really good pit stop, and then just gradually one thing happened after another, and I'm just speechless.
Let's take a look at the results. Audi won 2, but what a shake-up through the course of the race. Victory to Stuart Leonard and Robin Frieds, and the Sprint Cup Championship title too. Will Stevens and Marcus Finkelhock ended up second in the race and also second in the title rankings. Ezekiel Perez Compang, Andrea Caldarelli waving the flag for Lamborghini, but really the star performances came from their teammates. Christian Engelhardt, Mirko Bortolotti, 5th from 19th on the grid, and they're still leading the overall championship battle. So that is very important. That will go to the final round at Barcelona in 2 weeks' time. But it's victory in the race and the title to Robin Frieds and Stuart Leonard. What a 2 days of racing we've had. And there is confirmation. Frieds and Leonard on 82 points. 8 points clearing the end. Don't forget, 7 crews came here with a chance for the title. By this morning, it was down to 5. You couldn't have predicted that Frieds and Leonard would come out on top, but they most certainly did. And in the team standing, Belgian Audi Club, Team WRT, way clear. Well, only 9 points clear in that, but they take the title. Shows it's close. The sister team, Team WRT, across the garage, they come second on 97. And the GRT Grasser Racing Team, 91 points. HTB Motorsports still close. 4 teams so close after a year of fantastic racing. Vincent Boss takes the team trophy for the victory, and then the winner's trophy for today's feature race here at the Nurburgring to Robin Freins and Stuart Leonard, and of course with victory, with the point situation changing almost every moment out on the track, they are also the 2017 Sprint Cup champions. So we've got the Silver Cup champions on the left, we've got the Pro-Am champions on the top, and on the overall title winners, Robin Freins and Stuart Leonard on the top step of your podium. So there are championship winners for the Sprint Cup of the 2017 Blancpain GT Series.